Oh, pre-algebra, Mr. Lawrence here with your flipped lesson for January 23rd. Before we get started, let's say happy birthday to Mr. Morgan, Miss Robertson, and I hear Mr. Hint's birthday was today too, although I hope all three of you are not necessarily the same age, because if you're as old as Mr. Morgan, oh my gosh, and you're still in 8th grade, we've got problems. All right. We are talking about parallel lines being cut by a transversal. So if I have a pair of parallel lines like this, and I cut them with a transversal, some very special things happen. Here's angles are created, right? But these angles have special relationships. In fact, I can tell you without a doubt, I guarantee that angle 1 and angle 4 are congruent. I know that angle 4 and 5 are congruent. 1 and 5 are congruent. 5 and 6 are congruent. 4 and 6 are congruent. I can also tell you without a doubt that I know that 2 is the same as 3. Sorry about that, folks. I got interrupted. I can't remember what I said, and now I set down my marker. Can I get it without... Yes, I got it without strangling myself. Very good. Okay, I was saying 2 is congruent to 3, and also I know that 3 is congruent to 6, and 6 is congruent to 7. Oh, I wrote 6 twice. All right, I'll change that to a 9. There we go. Anyway, you get the point. So when we have these parallel lines, I like, instead of trying to remember just the terms vertical corresponding alternate interior, they are important words to remember, but I like to remember letters. I know vertical angles produce an x, and when you have an x, these two angles are the same, and these two angles are the same. Okay, so I look for x's in my picture. Corresponding angles make an f, and when you have that, that means that this angle here and that angle there are the same. And remember, these f's or x's can be turned backwards, upside down, forwards, inside out, whatever it takes. Alternate interior angles make a z. Okay, and when I have that, I know that these angles are the same. Okay, so let's take a look at one. Go ahead and copy this picture down on a sheet of paper. Sorry about that dead time there. All right, so let's do 3 parallel lines, and then gonna make a picture that looks like this. And I'm going to tell you that this angle here is going to be 20 degrees. This angle here is going to be 40 degrees. And we're going to see if you can figure out all the other angles. Now, if we get stuck, we'll go ahead and give a hint as to another one. But see what you can do here. All right, go ahead and pause the video and see what you can fill out. I see I have alternate interior angles here. So I'm going to make this one 20 degrees. Okay. I also see an x here and here. So that means this one's 20 degrees. Okay. I'm going with what I see first, not just any specific pattern. I see a half circle here. I know together they're 180, so 180 minus 20 is 160 degrees. Well, the other side of the x has to be 160 degrees. Okay? If you're figuring it out and you want to pause and try to figure some of the rest on your own, that's fine. I know I have an x here, but I don't know these two angles. And I don't know this angle and that angle. So that's not going to help me. So I'm going to back up and see if I can't find another x. And sure enough, I have this x here. And that x, this side is 20. This must also be 20. Okay. Now, if I just turn that x a little bit, let's see if I can do that. Will that fit pretty well? It's not going to be a perfect fit. No, it doesn't. I'll just redraw it. I see this x here. That's 40 degrees, right? Now I'm going to pretend I'm stuck on these two angles here for a minute, and I'm going to go back up some other stuff, and I'm going to find a z right there. If that's 20, this has to be 20. Okay. Lost my 20. There's an x. That has to be 20. I know I have a half circle here, so this has to be 160 degrees. This has to be 160 degrees. Okay. Now, I can't do any of these yet. I will be able to soon. I'm going to pause the video because the bell's about to ring here. So, hold on. Okay, pre-algebra, I'm back. I know for you it seems like not even a second has gone by, but it's been about an hour and a half for me. I had to hand out report cards and help kids at the algebra priority afterwards. By the way, if your parents are listening and they don't know what the algebra priority is, tell them I offer help after school, 3 days a week. All right, let me see here. I said I was going to skip these two right here, I think is the last thing I said. Forgive me if I'm incorrect there. And I'm going to go ahead and use this 40, and I'm seeing a z right here. Shoom, shoom, shoom. So if those are alternate interior angles, this 40 must be the same as this angle here. It must be 40. And then here I have an x. So the opposite ones in the x are the same. And there's a half circle, so that's going to be 140 there. This will be 140 here. All right, it's looking pretty good. I think these are the only two I haven't done. Now, let me see if I can clear some of this stuff out of my way. Oh, I lost my 40 and my 140. I'll have to put them back in. Okay, now this should be really easy because right here I have a half circle. I know that's 20 and that's 40. So together they make 60. So I'll do 180 minus 60 and I should get 120 degrees. Okay, now you might be saying it doesn't look like a 120 degree angle. It doesn't matter that it doesn't look that way. It's the way the information is given. All right, so down here, there's a vertical angle. That must also be 120 degrees. And there you go. Now the key thing is, folks, learn those terms. Make sure you get familiar with vertical, corresponding, and alternate interior. Okay, we'll talk about some other terms as well you need to know, but those are very important. All right, Mr. Lawrence signing off. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.